My name is Josh, and this is my story. I honestly think I'd be lost without Redwood Recovery. I definitely have a direction now in life that I'm proud of. It all started after high school. I played sports for 10 years and was really active from 6, 7 years old until the time I graduated. And shortly after making the decision to drop out of college, coming home and really didn't have a direction and really just felt lost, and became very vulnerable and accessible rather to the wrong crowd. That's kind of where it started. Rock bottom's kind of a funny one for me, and not funny in an amusing kind of way, but in a desperation sense of the word, almost a cynical funny. I used from age 18 until I was 24, and decided to get sober when I found out I was having my oldest son. I did it without recovery. I really tried to focus like that part of my life never happened. I acted as if I was ashamed by it. If you were someone that I knew was battling with addiction or that I had used with, I would literally act like I didn't know you. I was very arrogant in my recovery. Fast forward 12 days before 11 years clean, I had built that life. I had a great career, had been married for 10 years, had 3 beautiful children, kind of literally had the life, had all the toys. Our family motto was, "He who dies with the most toys wins," and I meant that. We had just built a beautiful home in West Jordan, and life couldn't have been any better. My rock bottom came shortly thereafter, after I had found out that my spouse had been cheating on me, and I filed for divorce. I was given and granted temporary custody of my 3 children, and that's when I really found out how powerful addiction is, because after that long, it took a matter of 23 days, and I was back at it harder than I had ever been a decade prior. The only difference was this time I had 3 young babies to look after. Rock bottom for me was a life that had taken 10 years to build. I completely destroyed in less than 2 years. My 401k was gone. I had lost my house, had lost all my cars, ATVs, 4-wheelers. We had lost everything. And it was a glimpse, because just after 2 years back using, I found myself on the street with no car, no family. No one wanted anything to do with me. And that's when I had like the aha moment, I guess you could say, was the realization that, you know what, although I had stayed clean for 10 years, I hadn't given myself the proper tools in my tool belt to maintain sobriety. I didn't have that person that I could call and say, "Hey, I'm really struggling and I feel like I'm going to use," because at that time, no one in my life would have believed me. As a matter of fact, I had fired many employees who tested positive for drugs throughout that decade, and I'm ashamed for it. I'd also sent a couple to rehab, and somehow that made me feel justified in my actions because I was clean. The aha moment for me, again, like I was saying, was fast forward 10 years. I'm on the streets. I have nothing. I don't have my children. I don't have family, and I'm alone. And I realized, you know what? Coming to treatment was a plan that was necessary in me continuing my sobriety this time around. And I'm so thankful that I did it, because truly now I look back and reflect, and had I had the tools in my belt that I have now due to this program and due to the community of people that I have around me, I know I wouldn't have relapsed. I wouldn't be sitting here today sharing this story. So I guess in a way it's been a blessing. Since I've stopped using and made the decision to move forward in my life, I've been so blessed, as I mentioned, not only with the community and the support system that I have built around me, the foundation that's really, really solid. Um, I've been in a relationship for 6 years. I just had my youngest daughter. Was granted custody of my kids back. I'm about to be off probation here in the next couple months for the first time in 4 years. Not going back to jail, avoiding prison by the graces of God, and being humble, staying humble, and showing myself a little bit of grace, which I feel like is super, super important. When I look to the future and I look ahead in life, I see a pathway for success. Not only with the family that I've built, but my extended community of friends and people that support me in recovery. My dreams 12, 13 years ago are completely different than they are today. And that's when I see that there really is a power of God and that there is a purpose for the path that we've been on. I do realize that God truly doesn't hand you more than you can handle in life. I'm proof of that. For the future, some of my dreams, the dreams that have changed, is I see myself staying committed within the community of recovery. Whether that be, attending some college courses to get a peer support certificate. But I realize that staying connected is what's going to help maintain my sobriety. So whatever that looks like. I just have to share the biggest difference between a program like Redwood Recovery Mentor Works and the program as a whole that we have and we carry here versus some of the other programs that I'm aware of, is we're about the individual. We're not just about collecting money. You're not just a number. You are part of the family once you get here. And we're not going to put that back on you if you fail. If you fall, falling is part of recovery, and we're here to support each other. If you fall, you're not going to be ostracized. You're not going to be, let's just say, for lack of better words, kicked out or put back in the situation that you're trying to get yourself from coming just because you made a mistake. There's plenty of us here that have made mistakes. I'm not perfect. I've made a bunch of them. But you know what? The ones that are here, that continue to grow here and make the biggest impact here, are the ones that have fallen in the past, and we're able to see that their support system is still going to be there for them, where other programs seem to just toss you aside.